That time of year is fully upon us. That would be the big geek expos, nerd expos, all of that type of stuff. Your comic book, video game, and then even just nerd culture media expos are starting to kick off for the winter seasons. Now, there's going to be other ones that pop up throughout the year, and another big time for them is during the summer. But normally during the colder months, places like Florida, which I think has a big one that's going to be happening here over the weekend, Texas, California. Normally they're the places that pick up these bigger cons in the cooler months, but up here in February, well, not here specifically, it's in a place that I absolutely detest for the fact that it is the bastard offspring of Seattle, all the terrible weather that you can expect from going up to the Pacific Northwest, coupled with the deleterious politics of Portland, it gives you Vancouver, which is also the terrible politics of Seattle, but it really doesn't much matter, man. It's the red-headed, slow-talking stepchild of the Pacific Northwest, and, well, they decided to bring in one of the biggest attractions to these types of conventions, and I'll keep it a buck. I've been to a couple of these before. Shout out to the old SGC, Screw Attack Gaming Convention, 2013, 2014. Your boy was down there, and 2013 was a hell of a good time, and 2014 was a bit of a letdown, but at the same time, I've been to these places. I've seen the people that are there. I know the people who draw the best at these locations, and paired with a lot of anecdotal evidence, given that Gina has been attending a bunch of these events in recent years for about the past 2 years post her Star Wars severance, she has been, if not the biggest, one of the biggest draws. Her lines are the longest. The people sign up in the biggest droves after her announcement, and whenever she does show up to these places, she has a deep, meaningful connection with the people that turn out. So yeah, of course, she is going to be afforded all of these opportunities because, well, people turn out for it. And at the end of the day, these expos want to turn a buck. So when she announced that Fan Expo Vancouver, I'm coming to you Monday, February 19th. It'll be my first time back in Canada for a long while, probably since, shooting a film or something like that. Looking forward to seeing you there. Get your tickets here, and then there's her link and all that stuff. And mostly it was met with a rousing greeting. A lot of the fans that are out there, who are fans of her Mandalorian, that's the stuff that she was, I guess, most known for, but as somebody who was a fan of old school MMA, okay, I know her from that, being the pioneer of that, for as much of the clout that Ronda Rousey gets, okay, there would be no Ronda Rousey if it wasn't for Gina Carano, so you better pay her proper respects in that regard. But it is Vancouver. And it's a nerd expo in 2024. And like I said, I've been to a couple of these before, and there's a reason that I haven't been to one since 2014. Because these events have been co-opted by some of the most insufferable, hateful, bigoted people that like to say that inviting people like Gina Carano is just simply a slap in the face. No, you ruining the gaming, comics, nerdy, dorky, obscure content, that's a slap in the face. And this is a big reason why I say you have to go ahead and safeguard and gatekeep your hobbies, because it just ends up getting co-opted by freaks like this. Because for as many happy people anticipating meeting Gina Carano at Vancouver Fan Expo in February, for the hundreds of people that are going to check her out at her table, there's at least 6 people online that are really taking big offense to this. But thanks to an over-reliance on social media for these companies to go ahead and shape their policies, those 6 people's opinions, those fleeting opinions, those non-customer opinions, those are far more consequential. And to leave it up to state-sponsored media, stupid-ass global news. And to be fair, whenever you see something that's coming out of Canada, unless it's rebel news, it's funded by the government to the tune of at least, and I know CBC ends up getting paid a hell of a lot more from the federal government, but at least 40% of their bills are footed by the federal government. So every single outlet that you see, CTV, City TV, Global News, it's all funded by the federal government. And this is what they push, and this is the freaks that they pander to. Not the people that would actually want to meet, want to engage with Gina Carano, engage with other like-minded fans. I don't know, just simply pay homage to their hobbies and pastimes, trying to meet like-minded individuals. No. There's some freaks online that might take offense to somebody who's just so mean for reasons that, well, I actually don't know at all whatsoever. Shout out to my taxpayer dollars at work, for getting this news clip out there. Well, considering I paid for it, we might as well play it and comment on it.
Like this costume, cosplay has a lot of layers.
I hate the news. I hate it so much.
It really does give an avenue for self-expression, creativity, therapy.
Therapy. Okay, you know, these expos, right? You're supposed to go out there and you're supposed to meet the stars and engage in the community, and then there's always going to be like a dealer, a vendor's booth off to the side, in a big hall sometimes. You just wandering around in scantily clad clothing in order to get attention from guys that you wouldn't even let spit on you if you were on fire. Not about you. It's about all of those ticket buying people that enjoy the con. Big shock, you're making it all about you.
But there's growing concern plans for an upcoming event go against the fabric of the community.
One of the few safe spaces that we have.
One of the few safe spaces that we have. Now, there's a lot to gleam into that statement right there. Safe space. In public. Safe space. Using that term unironically. Who's this we we're talking about? The people that recognize Gina and have paid to see her multiple times over at several other conventions around the world? Who's this we we're talking about here? Or are you just trying to attribute your perceived virtue? Because, again, I don't think that this person understands at all the quote-unquote crimes that Gina has committed. She's just simply going off of her good white liberal guilt and her virtue signaling capabilities. Ugh.
No longer feel safe.
Oh my
3
God.
days ago,
Guys, we don't feel safe, and that's the highest virtue.
Expo Vancouver took to its Insta.
Yeah, take a look at the people that they've announced to be there. Who's that? Bruce Campbell, Charlie Cox, one of the goofs from Stranger Things. I didn't watch the show, nor do I care to anyways, but who's getting the most attention? Well, that'd be your girl.
Instagram page announcing Gina Carano as one of this year's guests.
That was exciting.
Oh my God. These are the people, man. These are the people that ruin everything fun. They try to find adequate whitening toothpaste and obviously fail. If your teeth are that yellow, don't wear pearls around your triple chin. Like, very bad for contrast. And to be fair, I also don't think that she's Asian. She's just so fat, her eye sockets just have nowhere else to go. But Gina's so bad because she's so bad, guys. It's really terrible. Listen to me, because I'm not special at all whatsoever. I went to some place that I thought I could get attention from. And instead of embracing the culture, I just wanted to change it for my niche ideas. And now that everybody finds me insufferable, I just need to attempt to glom onto something new in order to pollute it once again. I don't know why everybody avoids me. Why didn't anybody come to my birthday parties when I was growing up?
This happened.
Lana Redlick is not alone in the nearly 500 comments on the
500 whole comments, huh?
post. Those planning to attend are expressing their disappointment.
Oh my
writing,
God.
"Gross move. As a non-binary cosplayer, no thank you."
That's probably something that you hear a lot and then just think that it sounds really impactful if you try to weaponize that. I'm a non-binary no thank you. Okay, no, I bought at the office. Okay, see ya, bye. No. Imagine not getting enough validation for doing a really shitty cosplay that you need to have the additional descriptor over the top of it that I'm non-binary. Oh, fantastic. Then how do you know which costume want to put on that's also going to adhere to your principles, that you're not going to be culturally appropriating something? Just wondering.
And hell no, is this the year to boycott? I think it might be.
Is this the year to boycott? So you've been waiting to boycott this event? Or I think it might be, implying that, well, I didn't have any intention of going. Or I'm so firm in my positions that Gina Carano is such a bad person that I'll do another consideration whether or not I'm going to turn out. So these are the people, these are the people that these retards want to go ahead and try to placate. Unbelievable.
They should know who is their target audience, being young people, queer people, LGBT people. It was just an enormous slap to the face.
That's not the core audience. I hate to break it to you. That makes up a 0.00001% of the overall population. It might be overrepresented when it comes to these nerd spaces, but guess what? The people that organically, genuinely want to go to these things, They don't give a shit about those superfluous descriptors. They hear enough about this nonsense in everyday life that they just want to go and, I don't know, engage in some IRL escapism. Big shock on that one, but instead, these uninspired, unremarkable individuals want to try to make this all about them. And actually, I don't even think it's about them. It's more or less trying to virtue signal for people's perceived imposition by this move. It's so strange, but it's not all that uncommon.
The actress is best known for her work in The Mandalorian and Deadpool, but after
well, you know, not to mention that, okay, for as much shit as I give, you know, women in action films, mostly because it just comes across as completely and totally unbelievable, Gina Carano being that MMA pioneer, which I think is probably her biggest accomplishment, but okay, whatever. If she's going to these nerd circles, okay, probably Star Wars, probably Deadpool, probably, maybe to a lesser extent, Fast and Furious when she was in that franchise for a hot second, okay, but to just disregard her other outside of Hollywood accomplishments, that just shows how narrow a scope these people are. The people that are calling for a cancellation from this event probably don't even understand that that is what she's there for. And yeah, like I said before with the female action star, Gina Carano is one of those rare examples of believability because, well, she's got the body type for it, and she also has the experience, and you can see that in her movement as compared to most modern choreography and action scenes that looks like dog shit, but she throws a believable punch, and, you know, in the Muay Thai clinch, so she racked up all of those wins in Strikeforce.
She took to social media comparing being a conservative today to being Jewish and not.
Oh, yeah, okay, she put that out there right after, you know, all of the show me your papers culture came out, and I would say, you know what, hey, her comparison, yeah, I don't think it was apt, mostly because it didn't go far enough, okay, at the end of this one, you know, most of her, as they're going to go on to elucidate, conspiracy theories ended up being proven correct. I don't think at the end of this, us conservatives ended up getting, you know, somebody else's land afforded to us by people that didn't have the authority to give it. Who's saying that? What? No?
See, Germany, Disney quickly cut ties. Carano never addressed her firing, only.
Well, actually, she did, and this is the one time that I would point to going over and listening to a Daily Wire interview, her sit down with Ben Shapiro. I know, just brace for nausea. Ended up breaking down everything that Lucasfilm wanted her to undergo, like a 40 thing, I would say person, but I don't even know how they identify. Some kind of Zoom-style struggle session. She would need to actually not mock putting pronouns in her bio, which initially triggered everybody, and the only reason that these freaks glom onto, oh, Gina's the transphobe. What, because she put beep, bop, boop, because it's goofy to put your pronouns in social media? It's like, yeah, you can see from the picture, you can see from this still right here, very much a woman. You don't need to go ahead and muddy the waters on that one because, oh, let's keep it a buck. Attractive people are never that ideologically possessed. Anyways.
Further fueling the controversy, posting transphobic, anti-mask, and conspiracy theory-related content.
Yeah, that's the transphobic part, by the way. Yeah, oh, she made a mockery out of pronouns. How is that a hatred of trans people? Like, if you need some excuses, I got a list, but anti-mask, ooh, I don't think you want to run back the science that we found out in that when you can actually look at the science instead of just trust the science. It gets a little bit more trepidatious. And just the blanket conspiracy theories, like what? You know, people that didn't just want to sign up to blind government obedience had to show their papers like a certain group of people in 1940s Germany. Yeah, very strange how that's being considered a conspiracy theory, but simply allowing all of those weirdos to come into your spaces and thinking that they're going to fundamentally change them, that's a conspiracy theory. Okay.
Now there's fear those views will infiltrate what's supposed to be an inclusive gathering.
Yeah, what is supposed to be an inclusive gathering. A bunch of fucking dorks, okay? These are the people. These are my people. He's unfortunately got some of my glasses, but I don't know what's wrong with these people. Like, good dental hygiene. But then again, you know, there's the stigma that con-goers are kind of, you know, stinky individuals. So yeah, at least he's living up to that one. But for Christ's sakes, it's called crust whitening toothpaste. It works fucking wonders, my guy. Come on now. I still got to, you know, to just dispose of these pedo glasses. It was just a bad choice back in the cut. Anyways.
People will just turn up in support of Gina Carano. I'm just genuinely worried it's just going to turn into yet another safety concern and issue for everybody who could be at risk here.
What do you even mean by that? A genuine concern, a genuine risk for safety. Just these idiots' idea that you need to go ahead and put safety above everything else from a threat which you haven't articulated at all. We don't like Gina because we don't like Gina because she makes us not feel safe, or somebody else. I'm a good person because I'm standing up for these nebulous individuals. What are we talking about?
This petition, more than halfway to its
guys.
goal of 1,000 signatures, is...
Guys, 700 people don't want Gina to turn out. I got news for you.
now circulating, calling on organizers to remove Carano from the lineup.
That's interesting. Okay, we got like 696. We just about have 1,000 people who probably would have never gone to this event if it wasn't for all this virtue signaling going on. No, we want her removed from this event, and we're going to contact organizers. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an update to the situation, and guess what, Vancouver? We've added a day to the Fan Expo. We'll be there both a Sunday and Monday, April 18th and 19th. Looking forward to meeting you. So guess what? That is a big fucking L for the cancel pigs, and a big goddamn W once again for the undefeated Gina Carano. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.